joined now by Kevin McGeeney, who is the CEO of SCB Group, a biofuels and ag brokerage that is moving into battery materials sector. Kevin, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why are you attracted by the battery material? I mean, we're talking about cobalt and lithium here, yeah?
Cobalt, lithium, manganese, graphite, the full spectrum of battery materials.
Why are you attracted by this stunningly volatile area?
Well, while electric vehicles make up only 2 million car sales out of a 77 million total, the rate of growth is quite spectacular. And we see that the battery materials are an area where SCB as a broker can help bring liquidity, bring price transparency for the years forward.
But, and there is a very big but, we have come off a high of around, what is it, $90,000 a ton or something ridiculously high in the last couple of years for cobalt. Got down to, correct me if I'm wrong, something in the region of $26,000 a ton. On the back of that stunning growth story you're talking about.
Yes, well, the costs of battery...
So people who got involved on the way up, it's been a disaster.
Well, the costs of battery raw materials are to electric vehicles what the cost of corn is to cornflakes. It's significant. I don't underestimate that. But it's not the swing factor for the final price the consumer pays.
No.
Every year for the last 10 years, the price of electric vehicle batteries and battery packs has been falling. Despite the huge volatility in cobalt and lithium, the price of battery packs continues to fall, fallen 80% in this decade. You
see, people are trying to make a bet on pretty much one country on this planet, aren't they? And the problem is that's the most volatile, one of the most volatile countries on this planet, and I'm talking about the DRC.
Well, there will be new production.
Because that's where most cobalt comes from, yeah?
60% from that region. There will be new production that will come on stream elsewhere. The US Department of the Interior put cobalt, manganese, and lithium all on the list of critical materials, and so the that US agency, as well as many others, will be making investments.
Sure, I hear you, Kevin, but it's a bit like the diamond market and people's concerns about who controls that and what is the real price of diamonds, and we can park the De Beers story somewhere else. But my point here is there is an awful lot of very, very big players talking about the miners, talking about the Chinese, others who have tried to corner this market. So really finding a real, true price for cobalt, given the fact that, of course, it's mined in horrendous conditions in a really tough country as well, and we have uncertain political regime in there. For my viewers, I'm trying to protect them from crazy investments that go up and down randomly, that they have no control over the market price. Cobalt just seems to me a toxic mix for our viewers to get involved in trading.
Well, SCB as a broker will look to bring price transparency to that market, to lithium, to the other battery materials. And it's with price transparency that you will get the drop in volatility. The market will stabilize.
So you don't think that this is monopolized by a few key producers and a few key buyers?
I do not, and I think it will be ever less so going forward.
Okay, all right, okay, Jay.
A couple of other areas you're very active in, biofuels and the ag markets. And we were talking about President Trump just before you popped up. It seems the president has been very active in changing the fortunes for both of those sectors as well. I'd just be interested in some commentary around that, because we recently, I think, spoke to the CEO of Novozymes. And what was clear from what they were reporting was that there are some challenges around the US ethanol market at the moment and the ag market, I guess, as a function of the trade war.
There are key challenges for the ethanol market in the United States, but there is bipartisan support to solve them. There are a number of different initiatives, some led by President Trump, some led by different members of Congress, to try and stabilize the outlook for the ethanol market. Remember, ethanol is price competitive in the United States, so its volume use is in fact limited by government involvement.
No, absolutely, and that's the problem, isn't it? That as long as the president is there and he is allowing the energy companies to reduce the amount of ethanol they blend into fuel for the pump, then that's a limitation, isn't it, on the growth of this market in the US?
It is currently a limitation. There was a deal very close to being signed just ahead of the impeachment jamboree. That seems to have held it up, but one is still hopeful that it will come through.
So in spite of these trends, I mean, you're still pretty optimistic about your business and your opportunity at the moment?
Well, SCB has been able to assist clients close transactions which have reduced CO2 by over 300 million metric tons. We've only been able to do that by being involved in the core renewable markets, in road transport and electricity. The scale is there for that, and we believe that our development will continue.
It's been great having you in, Kevin. Thanks very much for coming to us.
Thank you.
Kevin McGeeney, CEO of SCB Group.